Hi, I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm filling in for Charting Man Dan. It is Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. I'm coming to you from my family farm in Louisiana, but despite being on the farm, I've been keeping up with the markets, and today the dollar finally took a break. And Tesla and AMD, wow, did they take advantage of that break. We're going to take a look at that and a whole lot more. Good afternoon. This is Chart Gal Lori, and I am filling in for Charting Man Dan this Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. We're going to start out looking at the sectors. So the sectors as a whole, XLY was the leader today with 1.97% increase over yesterday's close, and then SMH, XLK. So when you have the strongest sectors pulling the cart, it is hard for all the small sectors to derail their bull leadership. And that's what we saw today. XLY and SMH taking that leadership role. So who allowed them to have the leadership role? The dollar. We needed the dollar to take a break. It was the most important thing to happen today because of the close inverse relationship we've had for the last few weeks and for the last few months for that matter. And we saw that break. We got the 4-hour downtrend confirmed. On the daily, no harm, no foul. This chart is not broken by any means. However, this 4-hour pullback allowed the market bulls to get a bounce. And it was a great bounce, lots of green out there today. A lot of people took advantage of it. But when we just go back to the 50,000 foot level, actually, we didn't make a lot of progress on a lot of charts. We were left with a ton of daily inside bars. Look at SPY. The yellow bars, by the way, denote inside bars. SPY, daily inside bar. QQQ, daily inside bar. Amazon, daily inside bar. Apple was not a daily inside bar, but we were unable to get over Monday's high. We just broke the prior day high just by a smidge. So overall, lots of inside bars, yet lots of progress. How we consolidate tomorrow will tell us a lot. So the dollar, I kind of view the dollar as the prison guard. It keeps everyone in check. And if the prison guard leaves the prison door open and then takes a break, then some people can escape, like gold. Gold is usually the first prisoner to escape when the prison guard just kind of steps away. And that's what happened with the dollar today. The dollar took a break. Gold barely took advantage of it, and more so toward the end of day. Look at the end of day bounce. I mean, that's not impressive. If you look at the dollar and how far it came down, gold should have had a much larger bounce. So that's when I use the analogy, gold didn't take advantage and escape the prison when the prison guard moved away. Who took advantage of it? Tesla. Almost a 6% day. They really turned on the jets today. The yellow line is the daily 50 MA. The bulls got a daily inside bar bull break, and they got some massive follow through. We have a gap fill over here at 362.46. We came very close to filling that today. So tomorrow, I automatically write down Tesla and say, okay, tomorrow I want to watch Tesla for a potential back burner trade. So Tesla goes to my list and say first 5 or 15 minute oversold conditions during regular trading hours. Of course, barring any other unforeseen situation, this goes on the list with a 6% bounce as a potential back burner watch tomorrow. And Tesla's part of XLY. XLY did break over the prior day high. It had almost 2% rally, which is impressive. So if we break down what we're looking for, let me type it for you, actually. Okay, so what the 1 hour, we've got trend changes on a lot of time frames. Awesome. 4 hour, we don't have a lot of trend changes yet. This is the next hurdle for bulls. Then the daily, then the weekly, and then the monthly. This was step 1. If we're just going to go down the steps, this was step 1 in confirming a potential monthly bull flag on a lot of charts. So if we go to the most important one, NASDAQ, and we look at the monthly chart, we still have the potential for a bull flag. Here, as long as we hold 1428975, we have potential for a monthly bull flag. So on the hourly chart, bingo, we got the trend change. Now tomorrow, what we're looking for is healthy consolidation. My basketball coach has always said you want to be a graceful loser. So if we have consolidation tomorrow, it'll be important for it to be graceful, for these bulls to pull back ever so slightly and just have healthy consolidation and fend off the bears from having total destruction. So that's what we're looking for tomorrow. This is step one of a 5-step process to get to a monthly bull flag. All right, we talked about Tesla and XLY. AMD was the other shining star of the day. And if you're a frequent listener of the pregame show, you know that I always say semiconductors are the fuel to the market's engine. When semis are pulling hard, it's hard to fight the market bears. And that's what happened today. And AMD was the leader of that bull charge with semiconductors. Semiconductors were up almost 156%. But as you can see on the 4-hour, we're still looking for 4-hour potential lower highs. And then how we consolidate and move on from there will be important. I should pause and just mention the economic calendar. We have initial jobless claims tomorrow. Sorry about these ads. Tomorrow, initial jobless claims. And then Friday morning, we have non-farm payrolls to be aware of. And that can impact the market. All right, looking at ES as a whole, 4-hour, we're looking for a lower high. And then where do we set the 4-hour high or low? The hourly chart, we got the trend change. We cleared the 50 MA. That was a huge hurdle. So now I focus in on 4-hour tomorrow. What did they do overnight? And then what do they have left to do tomorrow? So we got the hourly trend change on NASDAQ. We're waiting for the 4-hour trend change now. Bitcoin, if you look at this Bitcoin daily chart, you're like, what the heck is going on? Bitcoin is supposed to be one of the riskier asset classes as viewed by the general population. So if the market has been weak or hesitating, then why wouldn't Bitcoin be rolling over? And it hasn't. We have a daily higher low that's put in right now. I wouldn't say this is the prettiest chart that I'd bring home to mom, but they have held their gains fairly well. So Bitcoin's doing okay. Not great, but better than a lot of other charts out there. XLF got a double bottom. We broke the prior day low by 3 pennies and bounced. So I would still call this an inside bar. So we'll see if XLF can pull up or pick up some of the slack tomorrow. If Tesla and semis want to take a break, who could we be looking to take that slack up? I would say XLF. XLF is still just barely bounced from daily oversold. So there may be opportunities there and here. XLV had a very relaxed day, daily inside bar. So they're like, go ahead, consumer discretionary, Tesla, AMD, semiconductors, y'all go ahead and run. I'm just going to take a breath over here, take a break. Well, XLF and XLV, it's time for them to step up, and tomorrow will be their day, tomorrow or Friday. XLE really took it in the chin. When we look at oil was down almost 5% today. We are at the daily 50 MA. This is a logical area for oil to bounce. Looking for a weekly higher low at the daily 50 MA with the 4-hour oversold. You see how I stacked that evidence? I think of myself as a kind of a prosecutor sometimes. We're looking to stack evidence. So 4 hour, well, let's start higher. We're looking for a weekly higher low. Daily is at 50 MA and 4-hour is oversold, which is the logical area to look for said weekly higher low. Look at the precipitous drop. Look at the slope of that. They had inventory today. They had OPEC meeting overnight. So this does have some fundamental information in it. So RSI is not quite as important, but I will be watching oil for a potential bounce, looking for that weekly higher low tomorrow. Apple got stung by the 4-hour 50 MA. It was at least able to get over the prior day high, but just a little bit. It wasn't able to clear these other levels over here, most importantly, 174.30. That'll be in focus tomorrow. So again, I write to my list. Tesla, back burner. Apple, 174.30. Super key. And then I wanted to show you Meta, and I didn't finish XLE. I just realized that. Meta on the daily chart, this has been healthier than most. Look at this sideways action. I realize there's a lower wick. They had an event that day. So if I use my own discretion, I would say I would ignore that wick or even make note of that wick. The bulls were eager to buy it. Look at this high compression squeeze here we have on Meta. I would say Meta has some incoming volatility. A squeeze just means that the Bollinger Bands are dipping inside the Keltner channel. And it kind of reminds me of like a bank chute, where you're having this squeeze sensation, or as Dan says, like shaking up a Coke can, you pop the top and the pressure's released. This is a directionless indicator, the squeeze, but whichever way we break, we could assume there would be some volatility and follow through behind said break. Finally, let's go back to XLE. Really horrible day on elevated bear volume. We're not oversold on the daily. And on the weekly, you could argue we lost weekly support. However, I would be looking at oil, looking for the weekly higher low. XOM taking a step off its all-time high. And this is 4-hour oversold. I would keep XOM on my list tomorrow. We just had an all-time high. We're first 4-hour oversold off all-time high. So if oil could get its act together, XOM goes on that list. So we have Tesla back burner, AMD back burner, Apple 174.30, and XOM dip buy on the watch list for tomorrow. So then you make your notes. So tomorrow morning you're ready. Thank you for joining me. Didn't show my face on here because I have just hardly any camera service on my computer, but just rest easy. It's Chart Gal Lori coming to you from the Chart Guys, and thank you for joining me.